So let's get something out of the way. This video isn't really for you, it's about me. More specifically, it's about me 5 years ago. So if you are me from 5 years ago, this is your video. I've been playing Magic the Gathering for about 5 years now, I think. And with that comes some regrets and some experiences. So here are some of the things I wish I knew about Magic before I got really into it. That super glue is driving me insane. Okay, so let's dive into the first thing that I wish I knew, which there's kind of a bit of a catch-22 in this one, which is the fact that buying packs is gambling. Now, whenever you're first starting off, you don't have any cards, so you don't have anything to pick from, so it's okay to kind of buy packs in order to kind of build your familiarity with the game. That's fine, I don't have a problem with that. After you have a good collection and you have some decks built, you kind of have to buy singles if you are wanting to get your money's worth or to not be in crippling debt from this hobby. With it being gambling, mathematically it is structured against you. I could probably break down the whole math in a later video. Buying the packs are fun. If you're doing it for entertainment reasons, by all means, go for it. If you're doing it because you think you're going to pull that one expensive card, it's gambling. Just buy the card outright, even if it's expensive. Number 2, the game isn't over until it's over. This is one of the reasons why I enjoy playing like mono black strategy, because you get to use your life in all these interesting, weird ways, and you can bring yourself down to 0 life and still win. It's happened numerous times on both in-person games and on Arena. But this is also on the flip side of if someone's doing really, really good, but they look like they're in a very weakened position, it's okay to finish them off if they can bounce back, as long as it's properly threat assessed. But if you are down to like 1 life and you feel like you can't bring it back in, most of us are going to be like 1 or 2 cards away from a combo in some capacity. Don't give up, you can still win. Regret number 3, not understanding the general philosophies between the different colors of Magic the Gathering. Now, this is something that I slowly accrued over time, but understanding this earlier probably would have made me a better player. And again, like this is something that you could do to just kind of understand, but when you're first starting off, you just look at all the colors and you're just like, oh, these are kind of arbitrarily put around. They're not arbitrary. There's actually like reasons why they're balanced that way. It shows how attuned they are to different philosophies. It is also worth noting within those philosophies, there are some weaker cards, but those weak cards, this is number 4, by the way. The weak cards can still be utilized very effectively to a degree that I think a lot of people still don't really recognize, because it's all about the synergy of how different cards work. Yeah, I'm sticking with that explanation. And I think my favorite example of this is like Turbo Fog examples, where I believe this was a Pauper strategy, where you just like stall out the game and then like you just like, it's an extreme pacifism, like kind of like stacks kind of game manipulation. But it is an excellent example of how like a really cheap, very common card that's been reprinted to the nth degree is still incredibly powerful. So that brings us to number 5, which is, and I've already mentioned this in a video and I have a guide on how to do this, but make sure you proxy cards before you buy them. You're going to go through so many cards, and like there's going to be some powerful ones that you think are going to be great and then actually turn out to be completely terrible in your deck. You have some cards that are surprisingly like really, really cheap and you just keep filtering through. Most card shops make their margins on the really, really cheap cards on the bulk that they just get for free, and then they sell them for like 10 cents here, 20 cents there. And you should help out like your local card shops. Make sure you proxy and playtest your decks before you buy it fully fleshed out, and you are going to tinker through it over time. But this introduces an element of intentionality that a lot of people, especially if you're starting off, don't really understand. And last but not least, we come to kind of the reason why I haven't played as much Magic as of late. This is something I'm still kind of working on, which is be selective with kind of like the merchandise that you buy, just because especially nowadays there's so much of it. I started playing in 2019 or 2018. The amount of individual properties that there was a lot of merging with didn't exist, and I don't think the Universes Beyond thing was in full effect either. And so I was just at the cusp of this. There is so much material and so many cards and so many unique, novel ways to play right now, it can get very overwhelming. And I am not the first YouTuber to make a video on how much Magic the Gathering stuff there is out there. Not even close. You do have to be intentional because you will get overwhelmed, and if you enjoy like the Universes Beyond stuff, rock on. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And if you want to play Transformers Spider-Man with a Fallout themed deck for some reason, rock on. Go for it. You do you. In short, it is a game. Enjoy it however you want, but it's easy to get overwhelmed, so you might have to have some degree of intentionality, especially the current release rate of Magic the Gathering material. Now, these are just some of the things that I wish I knew before I started playing Magic. Like any hobby, it's okay to spend more money on things, but if I knew these things, I probably would have spent a little bit less money. However, with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.